tree branches moves. I just noticed that. That just okay. Thumbs up. I mean, it's nothing new. Oh god, come on. Look at that branch. It's moving. It's alive because it's a tree. Um, you know how earlier I said like I'd get to it because they mentioned like they showcase like the selecting of abilities, and you have like a healing spell in one hand and a healing spell in the other, and you go like draw. That's cool in itself. All right, but how you get to it. And now that we have the interface open, I'm kind of going, what the hell? Um, One step forward, two steps back. I hate the interface, and it has nothing to do with the presentation of like the look of it. Like the black on the image, that's fine. I actually like this in the sense that in Oblivion, it's that sepia tone thing. So you'll be in the dark, and then you'll press like tab to open your inventory, and oh my god, you're blinded because it was too bright. This I like in terms of colors, but in terms of what the hell am I doing with the inventory system, I don't get it. Because Iron Dagger, let's do this test. Iron Dagger, how much damage does it do? How much does it weigh? Is it really a dagger? Maybe it's just like some weird name. Like I could assume that the Iron Dagger or the Iron Sword are made of iron, right? And I'm guessing one is longer than the other, longer reach. But there's no stats. Like I have to. It's what's the term I'm looking for? Um, I don't have the term. Not Easter egg, but it's like oh crap! It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, this I hate. Oh, that's half a sword right there. Oh my god. Okay, no, that's just me with the video. Um, okay, course. Iron War Axe, 9 damage, 11 weight, value of 3. This is why I had a problem with the Morrowind interface, because all it showed was a tiny little icon until you move your mouse over it. And that annoys me, especially with Morrowind, because it's a tiny little icon. And most of the time I can't tell what the icon is. So, is it a candle? Is it a soul shard? What the hell is it? Or, yeah. Or is it crayon, you know? It all looks the same. Same thing with World of Warcraft. I'm kind of pissed off where I'm looking for that one item in my inventory, and all I can think of is, okay, I remember it having like some blue in there in the icon. Where is it? And then you're looking through. You know, you only have like 4 bags, 5 bags if you count like the big one, and it's like, is it really 4? Well, whatever. It's a lot of bags, and it's a lot of like tiny, and you always have to move your cursor around to see what the hell you're doing. Of course, you can organize your inventory, fine, but this is a list. Oh, um, I don't know. This is a huge pet peeve of mine because I'm gonna have to travel extremely light to figure this stuff out because I don't like going through item per item. If you've seen my Morrowind videos, you see like I have no patience with that stuff. And the thing with Oblivion is like I find it okay because okay, yes, it only shows like it's a list still, and it only shows like 5 items, 6 items at best, but at least you know what they are from the get-go, right? And there's even a tiny little icon. Coming from a Diablo player where I'm used to seeing only icons and you have to put your mouse over to see what the stats are, yes, but it's a sword and it's this big in my inventory screen. I kind of tell what it is already, and this not so much. So, you know, reading comprehension, yes, there is that involved, but come on, like what's the difference between a longbow and no? I only have one bow. I thought I had more than one bow. Steel sword. Okay. I hate that. No, I don't like that at all. One bit. I kind of like the idea that you can like look at your stuff and zoom in. That's cool. I want to see more of that. But anyways, I think I went with that too long. But I want to go back to the the interface with the spells and stuff like that, it has that same problem where actually it has two problems. The first problem is that the guy was selecting spells on his left hand. For you guys, it would be this one on his left hand, and the scroll bar, like the interface, would pop up on the left side, and it would see a list of spells or items. Fine. You can't tell what it are, but until you mouse over, whatever. And you select the spell, and then you go to the right hand, and it's still on the left side, like the selection screen, like the list. So at one point you'll be confusing it. You'll be like, oh wait, am I selecting from my left hand or my right hand? If it actually said spell for left hand and I missed it, I apologize from the get-go, but I don't know. I like that. I like the tiny hair on the meat. And then the fish. That's some good fish, man. And of course the sweet roll. See, I like that. I don't like that. That I find interesting. I'm not entirely sold on the idea, but I kind of like that. Reminds me a little too much of Final Fantasy 13 in terms of this, but that's not why I hate Final Fantasy 13, so who knows. Map is okay. It's a map. It's a cool looking map. I wonder if there's a Google option, like you see like lines and stuff, like kind of like a drawing on top of I don't know if you could probably have that as a mod. I like this. I like that very much. It frames the town perfectly. Everything looks good. NPCs are awesome. Too bad I couldn't see them. I couldn't see the conversation. I wanted to see how the animation, because the way they interact in Oblivion, they're kind of stiff. So, and I'm not talking about the conversation with yourself, but not with yourself, but with the player, but with themselves. It's stiff. So I wanted to see that. Didn't see that, so that's vague. And speaking of vague, I was going to mention that was vague, but this is vague because they say, oh, you can select your conversation, like you can say that, and then the guy start talking, and then come on, guy, and then you can keep moving, and the game's going to be unpaused. But again, you don't hear other conversation happening. So what happens when there's other conversations? Is that guy going to say I didn't hear it because he's walking away while he's talking, but is there NPC recognition? Is like, hey, I'm talking to you, or oh, like fine, you don't want to hear what I had to say. And what happens when you come back to the guy, right? Can you hold multiple conversation? Is the first NPC going to tell you something, and while he's talking, you turn around to the second NPC, and the second NPC says, well, you're not done talking to that guy. Finish him, Well, not finish him, but finish him. No, I mean, how does that play? It's very vague. It's just a demonstration, but I would think that for a demonstration, they would show how it would work. Maybe because it's not finalized, because back in 2003 with Oblivion, they showcased conversation and dialogue system and all that stuff, and it wasn't finalized then. It was like just a rough model, so maybe that's what it is still. I'm hoping they got it fixed by now, it's all done and they're just fine-tuning. But yeah, it's I'm not even looking at the guy at this point. And this is a good thing. I'm looking at the scenery right in the background, and I love, that's a saw, I think, but I love the fact that you can see the detail. You see more trees. I love that. You see the outside, and it's very cottage-y. You know what I mean? I love the architecture too. Textures are sharp here. So I'm thinking when you load in the town, basically in all the game, all your loading in texture file is wood, but so it's probably the same texture that repeats over and over. But whatever, Like I'm thinking this bit right here is probably the same bit here. Maybe, maybe not, but who knows? That's probably maybe like a spider webs in Oblivion, where it's just like a texture, like a plane that's with a transparency on it, and it's just slapped on just ever so slightly above the geometry of the floor. Maybe that's what it is. It looks cool either way, so who cares how they did it? As far as that guy goes, I love the animation. I wouldn't do that with my hand, like sticking in rough wood, but he's a badass, so sure. Um, that would be very uncomfortable to do that day in and day out. And my biggest problem when I was looking at this is Riverwood, and I blame myself because they. I'm gonna just go after a transition. There you go, a clean picture. Todd Howard did a lot of interviews before the QuakeCon, and actually, I'm gonna go back just because I want to show what I'm talking about. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Todd Howard did a lot of interviews before QuakeCon, and he mentions Riverwood a lot, to the point where I'm thinking they're overhyping it. Hoping I'm wrong, but this feels like Megaton to me. It's you can blow it up and it opens a different path. Yay! Really? So, like you can affect the economy while playing in Skyrim, but how much to that extent? Like, how far does that go? Is it going to be like a one-time deal? Is it only the lumber mill? I can understand that the lumber mill is the only economy element of the town. So, like, if the lumber mill goes down, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's like a mining town, right? You screw up the mine, what happens to the town? So I can understand that. For Skyrim in this game, the changes that you do to the town are probably going to be permanent. But it's probably they won't lock you out for some quests and stuff like that. Because the thing with the Fallout 3 is that they locked you out from content, yes, but it was more like a storyline perspective in terms of a good and evil. You're playing a good character, you say Megaton, and if you're playing an evil character, excuse me, you blow it up. It's a beautiful sight. And then you deal with rich folks and stuff like that, and you can pickpocket them and whatever. So it's cool. Here it seems like, I don't know. It feels needed more information on it. I know the video kind of skimmed through it, but I needed more information on, like, what do you do with the lumber mill? If it really is Megaton equivalent, it means that it's fairly early on in the game, so why not just show it? You know what I mean? So yeah. Horse. Love the detail on the horse. I love the saddle. It looks uncomfortable in this part right here, but other than that, it's a cool looking horse. And I love how the horses look bigger. They look like horses. They look, because if you ever rode a horse, there's different kind of horses, yes, but the ones that I'm used to, they hurt a lot when you spread your legs and you ride for hours and hours. Like, I'm not used to riding for hours and hours and hours, but like you ride for 20 minutes and your legs are sore because you kind of have to spread out. And this feels right. It looks right, right? So then I'm looking at this, looking at the signposts, and I'm noticing that there's different design. This one's barely readable. Wait, they look older than this, so it's probably Riverwood is probably like an early establishment. I can't even read what that says. Ivanseed? Is that even an E or a C? Like the Morrowind font? Can't even read, but whatever. I like it. It shows like the environment like grew. Like it aged at one part, but there's still some new settlements opening up. So that's kind of cool. Here, I love the transition between green, warm colors, and then we're going to the icy, cooling. Like, look at the trees. It's kind of hard to see with the interface, but they go white now. So that's kind of cool. I love how like the rocks kind of spring out. They feel like they're attacking you. Look at this. This is awesome. I love this, especially with the shadows and the contrast. Like it's light, dark, sharp line, then green, and then brown and oranges. That's what I want to see. I love that. It looks like they actually put some thought into the process, and I love that bush right there. I love you too. Then we go to cooler areas, and the one thing I learned about, I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous videos, but what I learned as far as the level scaling goes, because right now I'm on a mountain, and it reminds me of the way they had it with Fallout 3, where Fallout 3 difficulty, like it was still based on your level. Like the mobs do level up with you. The mobs, yeah, the monsters. But they had a range of difficulty anyway. So like the closer you were to downtown, the harder the enemies would be. So if you're low B and you didn't want you get your your ass handed to you, you stay out of downtown, and you learn it pretty soon if you try to adventure there too soon. In here, what they're doing is that they have the same concept because they had practice with Fallout 3. They're doing it with the mountains. So if you want to go to newbie areas, like the easier parts of the game, you stay at low ground. And I'm assuming like the highest dungeons and stuff like that, like the hardest one, like dragons and stuff like that, they're being mountaintops. So the hard monsters are going to be on top. So if you want to start the game at level 1 and go, beat a dragon up, find a mountain and climb it. That's what I'm thinking. I love the view. Look at this. And there's even like a cloud. There's a cloud. I'm satisfied. Yeah. What can I say? And the funny part is that it looks like a photograph. The funny part is that I've looked at this video countless times, and I'm still looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. So, and I'm trying not to think about the graphics really, but how can you not think about the graphics? Look, there's a cloud. Now my question is, can you ride a horse first person? Because they don't show that. This is really cool. Yes, dismount. Love the animation for dismount too. So you're running around. This is priceless. I'm going to fast forward here because although I gotta say that every single frame here is pure gold, I'm going to skip through all that. I want to go, yes, I know your alteration increased, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Love the snow. I love the snow in my face type of feel. Yes, you're in my face again. My computer's having problems. But every single time there's a dragon, and I always miss it. Like, it's there, I know it now, but every time I watch this part of the video, I'm always, oh my god, there's a dragon, I forgot about it. And go back and then kind of look at it, and you look at the dragon, and right now the dragon's looking at you, like it's following you. That's what I'm seeing. Is it really the case? Are the creatures aware? Well, they wouldn't be truly aware, but will they give the sense of awareness? Hopefully. I'm remaining I'm hopeful because that dragon certainly looked the part. But again, notice that there's no blip on the well, of course, no, the dragon's over there, but there's no red dot. So I'm looking at the compass, and oh my god, did you see the dot? Let me go back to the frame that where it showed. There it is. Useless. The dragon is in my face. Look at it. Like you cannot miss the dragon. Seriously. Maybe the guy's retarded. Like the character that Todd is playing is like, intellect of 2. So yeah, dragon, awesome. Nothing I can say about that. There's more dragons later on, anyways. But yeah, the mini map. Come on, guys. Or the compass. So now we're gone to part number 2. And in part number 2, I'm going to move this part right here. Cool lighting effect. Of course, I expected the dragon to just fly by. Not going to happen, and I know why, because this is all instanced in cells, whatever term you want to use. So technical limitation, fine. Sneaking is cool. Does he have his bow out? Yeah, he does. Love the lighting here. Like, this is the work of a designer. And I'm not talking about the artistic designer this time. I'm talking about, well, it is artistic, but I'm talking about the actual level designer. He built everything dark. Well, as dark as the video will allow it to be anyways. And he put like the campfire. And Oblivion did this to some extent. And then they put 2 dudes where you can clearly see them. Casted shadows right there. That's awesome. So your focus is there. Excuse me. Wow, I don't know what's happening with me. See? I didn't even notice that in the first time I saw that video. Sneak attack for 2.0 times damage. This is exactly where all the text in my face should be. Right there. Change it. Change it. But anyways, I love the pot. It's all crooked and stuff. But yeah, I love how they bring your attention to the event with lighting. That's good. That's awesome. And I was kind of disappointed with that guy. And everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Everybody kind of expected, well, not everybody, but a lot of people mentioned that the guy should have been running around. Like, he looked kind of stupid, like running AI stupid, where he's just standing there with his sword wielded. Some people say, well, it's, he's in shock and he doesn't know where you are. Fine. My argument to that is that, I don't know, if I was him, and I'm not like I don't consider myself very clever. Like, if I was talking to a friend and then he goes, or a comrade, and then the guy just falls down and then the environment is dark and all I have is like campfire to lit the area. Yes, I would bring out my sword. Actually, I wouldn't have a sword, but yes, I would bring out my sword, but I wouldn't stay still. I would like walk backwards. The guy, like, especially I would walk away from the corpse for one thing. Oh my god, my friend's dead. And maybe not look at where the arrow hit, but walk away from there. That's what, if the AI can be scripted so that, probably a mod. Maybe the Bethesda is still tweaking that. I don't know. But like, oh my god, brings a sword and then you could kind of just go walking backwards. He doesn't even need to be looking for me. I just want him to recognize that, well, he did recognize it, but I killed his friend, Oh yeah, started the Golden Claw. I love the lighting though, really nice. And stupid inventory. I'm gonna fast forward, or I'm just gonna scrub. Cool coin though. Dual wielding. Can you block with dual wielding? I don't know. It's kind of vague. They don't show it really. I don't see how it could be possible unless there was like a block button on the keyboard. I'm only thinking PC side here because I have never really played with the controller, so I don't know. Like in Oblivion or Morrowind, I don't play like this, so I wouldn't know really. Ah, get out of my face! I'm also kind of worried with the whole health bar going inwards like that, but I'm probably not going to be looking at my health bar anyways, so that's cool. Actually, that's probably the best thing in the entire video. Um, forget about the trees, forget about the fancy graphics, forget about the crappy inventory system, forget about Riverwood and the economy and the horse and the dragon and all that stuff. This, and I'll tell you why. You're fighting, but you're including the environment into the fight. Because I just put some shit on the ground. It's a trap. This is good stuff. And I'm thinking, because of course it's a spell, but can you imagine the type of items that you could probably have, modded or otherwise, in the game for thieves? I have like a trap kit. Let me put it on the ground and kill people. Or hell, you're playing a thief and you put you touch it like magically, and then that will freeze the guy or blow them up like that. I don't know, but they'll freeze the guy in. So, it's a hard monster ahead. You pluck him with arrows. Ah, my God! I say it won't be like Oblivion. They already mentioned that it'll take fewer arrows to kill, but it'll take longer to shoot arrows per hit. But anyways, so you hit the guy with multiple arrows, and then he's coming towards you, and he freezes because of your trap. It's awesome. You're including the environment, and I think more games should do that, especially the Elder Scrolls, because Oblivion, as much as I love it, it's probably the best RPG I've ever played, but it's like it's projectile weapons and melee weapons. It's like I'm using a sword or I'm touching, same thing. Shooting arrows, shooting spells, similar things. I was going to say same thing, but then again, archery is probably more interesting than spellcasting because they use physics and what was the other thing? They use physics. No, I had another thing with it. They go faster? That was the other difference. The projectile is quicker than the magic, which kind of balances out the spells because the spells can be very potent. Well, arrows can be as well, but but that's pretty much it. So you got range, like and then you got melee and touch, and now we have something else. We can at least, even if it's the only type of mechanic added to the combat system, we can at least put stuff on the ground, and I think that's like a step in the right direction. So I'm happy for that. That's a cute little spider. One-handed spin. I want to see the spider, not the progress bar. And I'm not even looking at this. Like, I can't see the spider in the minimap or the compass. Like, where is it?